Let's have a look through the papers then for you this one. Final time today with Vicky Beeching and David Schneider. Good morning.
Well, there's a bit of sadness in your voice there about the final. You're going to miss us for the rest of the morning.
It flies by so quickly. What isn't flying by, David, as far as I'm concerned at the minute, is all the talk about the Scottish referendum.
Right.
Because it's 6 months off yet, and
you've had enough, have you?
Well, there's endless coverage, isn't there?
Well, I don't. You're not Scottish, I'm deducing from that.
No, I'm from the very north of England, though.
Right.
But so it's not over till the fat lady sings, as they say.
Yeah, with bagpipes and tossing cabers and other cliches. No, well, I'm interested in it, partially because my in-laws, I've married into a Scottish family, so I'm very concerned I spend a fair amount of time up there. I mean, it seems that the reason it's in the press at the moment is because, as you mentioned, Cameron had the Scottish Conservative Conference, which I presume was held in a broom cupboard. People say in Scotland that there are more pandas in Scotland than Conservatives. And up till now, the whole tenet of what they've been saying about the Scottish referendum, the Tories, is like, you know, you mustn't do it because we won't give you the pound and you won't have David Bowie anymore and all these sort of threatening things. And now it's changed a bit. And what Cameron said yesterday was that there might be more devolution if you vote to stay with the UK. And so I think it's slightly maybe showing that they're a little bit worried that they've gone hard on you can't have the pound, which anyway I found extraordinary because it's Scottish pound as well.
Well, it wouldn't be, though.
Well, yeah, but who are we, the English, to say no? It's our ball. It's our ball, even though you've played with it for 300 years.
Yeah, and everything they've invested and put in, and then
they get back nothing. Your money that goes into it.
Well, no, but to be fair, we need to put some, because I know you like to throw your political stuff about, David.
Thank you.
But I mean that isn't a government issue. That's
you're right. It's
cross-party.
Cross-party. Yeah, you're right, and you're right. Well done for pulling me up on that, and you're absolutely right. But I mean, for me, if I'm totally honest, I see that Scotland is a very different country from England, politically, socially, in its values now. And over the last 30 years, it's really changed. And in England, we're worried about, tax cuts, and it's a very me situation, I feel. Whereas in Scotland, it does feel that the NHS, things are more more aware of social care. It seems a more Scandinavian type of country. And I don't think that it will be a yes vote, but I sort of think to Scotland, well, why wouldn't you? You know, why they've been run for so long by people that they haven't voted for. Yeah. Why wouldn't you go for it?
I have a question. So you married into a Scottish family.
Yes.
Have you ever worn a kilt?
Have I ever worn a kilt?
Have you worn a kilt?
I haven't worn a kilt. In the privacy of my own bedroom, I've never worn a kilt. So,
just wondered what the experience was like.
It's a relief.
It's really good. Because this is image-wise, and it's early on a Saturday morning.
This is a very short desk. To Michael Gove and his Eton comments in the Daily Telegraph, Vicky.
This is fascinating. I think mainly fascinating to me because it's just not new news at all. It's not like we haven't known for years and years that the Cameron's closest people are basically stacked out with Etonians, but it's just interesting to see Michael Gove speaking about this. I like Michael Gove, and we were chatting about him in the green room. I like the fact that he went to a state school, he got a scholarship to a private school after that, and he's the first ever Tory education minister to send one of his own kids to a state school. I came up through the state school system and had a great experience. I think a lot more praise is due in the state school direction. So even though this is a bit weird, it doesn't seem like news. It seems like perhaps he's taking a pop at maybe Boris, maybe having a go at Boris.
Me.
But regardless of why he's saying it, and even the fact that it's not new, I think it's great just to shed a bit more light on this and say, actually, it's not normal. In any other developed economy, this kind of stacking of the deck doesn't exist.
I think the interesting thing about it is that if the Labour Party had banged on about the old Etonian thing, it's often said, well, it's class war, why are you mentioning it? So why is Michael Gove mentioning it? And incidentally, yes, he's sending his kids to state school. Well, I think he's positioning for a leadership thing after the election. I think he's saying, I'm the man of the people that David Cameron and his
not like these other guys
aren't, even though I like them. I mean, of course, he did get a scholarship to a fee-paying school, and then he went into Oxford. There's a way you could say that they all went to Oxford in the same way they all, or Oxbridge, as they all went to Eton. But he's saying, no, I'm the man of the people.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's interesting. I imagine they're not very happy about what he's done.
I wouldn't have thought so.
It is interesting. There's a strategy there somewhere. Because we're running out of time a little bit, I want to talk about family meals. This is in the Telegraph, David. The Times, I beg your pardon.
Yes.
You've got to have a screen on the table.
This is awful for me to read because it's telling how so many, well, 36% of children have electronic devices during family meals. That's bad. But also 33% of parents use electronic devices during family meals, which I so recognise. There has been one occasion where I've actually texted the child sitting opposite me. I was making a point, but I'm as bad as them for using electronic stuff. I mean, I'm not one of these people who thinks it's terrible when I see eight young people and they're in the pub and they're all tweeting. I live on Twitter, and I think that's fine as long as that's agreed between them. They're still having human interaction. But when you're at your family meal, I think we now establishing that we've got to have a virtual
I
free
banned
time.
it now at home because my 11-year-old was sitting there with her iPad, earphones in, and totally disconnected from the rest of the family.
Was that at an actual meal
I said
time?
no.
But that is where you need to Facebook them and say,
I'm not
can you
on
pass the
Facebook."
salt, please?
It's a new whole way of communicating, isn't it? I think we can actually bring technology into our children's lives as adults.
But when
And I
there is
think
some distance
I think
between
you can
you,
kind
but
of
when you're
engage
around
it
a
rather,
table...
yeah. But I think if you sort of
Engage
say
it,
to the kid what's going on, you know, show me how's it going on Facebook, how's it going at school, you know, kind of creating a conversation like you would about the physical world.
But the good thing about technology is it's not just about engaging young people, engage old people as well.
Totally.
With we,
Yeah.
it would seem, to keep
Amazing
fit.
segue.
You are so good at your... I don't think people
That was such a
realise
smooth
how
segue.
good
We
you
didn't
are.
really even realise you'd gone to the next story.
You've got to make it look seamless, David.
This is research coming out of the University of Essex, and they are helping the NHS, who are footing a bill of £1.7 billion a year from elderly people who fall. And falls are not only needing sort of physical rehabilitation, but also the mental and emotional counselling and support afterwards, where people get very anxious. So Essex University have found that the Wii Fit and the balance board, I don't know if you've tried it, but apparently it is much less hard wearing on your joints, and it has a much higher rate of establishing balance without the kind of wear and tear that physio can cause. So elderly people now are being encouraged, get Wii Fit, get out the balance board, and they're seeing the actual drop in falls thanks to technology, and you get to play Wii Fit. So
They're maybe being encouraged by Nintendo Wii to do it as well.
yeah,
but,
sponsored by Nintendo.
yeah.
Isn't it
But it is great,
fantastic,
isn't
though?
it? See the
it's
potential.
it's a way to get involved. Actually, my folks have got one of those, and
They use it.
it's great. Yeah.
I
I mean,
mean,
not that they're elderly or infirm, but
You
Well,
can
my,
so.
my 80-year-old mum still goes to the gym.
Does she
Good
really?
old-fashioned
That's really impressive.
That's so old school.
So-
Actually leaving your
Old
house.
school.
This is the new gym.
Yeah.
yeah, love it. I think it's great. Look, guys, it's been really good to see you this morning. Thank you
Thanks
very
for
much
having us.
indeed.